I have with me Paul Long, who's going to be giving you some fantastic tips for Facebook this morning. So without further ado, I'm going to leave you in the very capable hands of Mr. Long.
Thanks, David. Hi, everybody. Hope everyone's well. Hope everyone's had a really good week so far. Thank you very much for taking time out of your busy morning schedule to hear what we've got to say about Facebook advertising. Got loads to get through today, so we'll run through as quick as we can. But as always, if there's any questions, do put them in the chat or get in touch with David or myself. I'll always be glad to answer those for you. So these are some of the things we're going to be looking at today. We're going to be looking at the best targeting techniques on Facebook and how to bring in regular seller, buyer, and landlord leads on tap. The latest special ad category changes. Do get a lot of agents still asking a lot of questions about this, so we're going to make sure we cover those as well today, just to make sure you're very clear on that. How most agents are putting the wrong messages out on Facebook without even knowing, and why retargeting, just like eBay and Amazon, is a must for your estate agency business in 2024. And as I said, as always, any questions, please put them in the comments. We'll try and cover those either at the end or later on for you. So really quickly, if you don't know who I am, my name's Paul Long. I help estate agents and letting agents to understand and utilize all the powerful data that's available to agents now to really sort of increase the number of seller, landlord and buyer leads generated online and increase business levels. We do this in a number of ways. We do this through our training, our membership program. We do this through managing Facebook ads and lead generation for agents and building actual funnels. And just some of the people you might recognize that we've worked with very quickly: John Paul, Tony Morris, Stephen Brown, Sanjay Gandhi, Michelle Gallagher, just some of the people that I've been really lucky to work with. So let's dive straight in, and let me share with you one of the questions that I always get asked by agents, which is, what is the main difference between the portals we advertise on and Facebook? How can we benefit from the powerful Facebook algorithm everyone goes on about? And that's obviously the powerful data that's predicting what you and I are going to be doing next. Well, the best way I can compare this for you and give you a good idea, on the difference is comparing it to the portals, to Rightmove, Zoopla, On the Market, which we're all very familiar with. People go onto these websites knowing what they want. They know the number of bedrooms, the price range, and they expect to see results straight away. And these platforms are pretty much search and intent platforms, and they do have a lot of powerful data, but very small amount of overall powerful data that's available to those portals with people wanting to do something straight away. Facebook, on the other hand, is more of a discovery platform where people are visiting the platform to learn, share, and engage with friends and family. And it's this small difference that allows Facebook to have a mass amount of data on consumer buying habit on each and every one of us. The powerful algorithm is pretty much predicting what you and I are going to be doing next up to 4 to 6 months in advance. Even before we know what we're going to be doing, Facebook is predicting that. And some experts say, Facebook now has more data points on consumer buying habits than even Google. But how many data points do you think Facebook has on each and every one of us? I'll let you have a little guess before I just show this slide. Well, let me share it with you. It actually has 50,000 data points on each and every one of us, a mass amount of data when you think about it. And if you can write more than 10 things about yourself, you're doing extremely well. I know I would struggle. And if you're wondering, Paul, how on earth is Facebook getting this data? Well, this is some of the ways Facebook is, getting that data from you. It's looking at the websites you visit. So when you visit a website, often there'll be a Facebook pixel on that website, a little bit of code that Facebook will give a website owner so it can track visitors and people clicking on buttons on certain pages. Messenger, the keywords you're typing into Messenger every day to friends and family, apps you download, pages you like, GPS, where you're visiting, checking in, videos you watch on Facebook. Don't forget, there's millions, if not billions, of videos on Facebook, and Facebook's looking at the percentage you're watching, the title of the videos, and obviously the amount of the video you're watching. And then Instagram and all the other platforms that Facebook owns. Don't forget, Facebook owns WhatsApp as well. So all those data points putting into Facebook. This is what Facebook pretty much knows about us. It knows the business and industry you're in, education level, mobile device you're using, when your anniversary is, consumer classification. It knows if your parents, what age your children are, where you work, your position, what food and drink you like, hobbies, what you're interested in, events coming up, loads and loads of information. And Facebook pretty much knows us better than ourselves. Why? Because this morning when I went on Facebook, Facebook was reminding me what I did 4 years ago, what even I had for lunch 4 years ago. And no, before anyone asks, this is not what I had for lunch 4 years ago. Now, the reason I'm telling you this is because the great news is that all this extremely powerful data is available to you as estate agents and letting agents in Ads Manager, which is the main advertising platform for Facebook. By using Ads Manager and all the brilliant targeting options available, you can get your messages, your properties in front of local buyers, sellers, and landlords really early on. So really powerful when you head into the back part of Facebook. Now, here's some of the things that are available in Ads Manager, and these are some things you can write down and give you a little bit of value today. These are targeting options to help you find buyers and sellers. These are just some of them, some of the ones that we use. And these are pretty much, if you imagine these as you're being tagged with these interests on a daily basis based on your behaviors of what I just showed you. So first time buyer home buyer grant, for sale by owner, mortgage calculator, property appraisal, all these things are available in Ads Manager where you can drop a pin and you can put those interests in and get in front of people who are more likely thinking of moving or buying in your local town. Really powerful stuff. Now you can do the same for landlords as well. Really powerful. Facebook knows exactly who's a landlord. So interests like buy to let, creative real estate investing, landlord, property management, real estate investment. These are just some of the ones available. So if I'm a landlord and I go to a buy to let website today and look at all the available buy to let properties, then there's a good chance I'll get tagged with the buy to let interest. That's how powerful it can be. Now, we've spent over £1 million testing all these targeting options with our clients, and we've seen some pretty amazing results in testing. But also I need to issue a big warning here because there's also a dark side to Facebook ads where I see too many people running the ads the wrong way, losing money, getting tricked into thinking boosting a post is marketing and wasting tons of time and money as not being kept up with the latest important changes on the platform. So, for example, the recent special ad category changes, which now require all ads about housing to be selected under the housing ad category. So let's break that down a little bit for you. You know, recently, or just over a year now, Facebook brought in the special ad category, and a lot of agents really struggle to get around the special ad category. Let's just make sure you're clear of it. The main aim of the special ad category was to prevent discrimination on the platform based on demographic characteristics such as age and gender. And this is how it worked before the special ad category. It was a very easy life for agents. We could drop a pin, target by postcode or 1 mile. But now what you'll see now, or obviously before, actually, let's say before, you had control over location. You could target down to 1K. You control the age, and targeting options included lots of demographics. How does it look now? Well, after the special ad category, how it works now is that you have to declare your ad is about housing. Under audience, you cannot target under 9 mile radius, and you cannot change the age, range, or gender. Now, is this a problem for agents or an opportunity? Well, we actually believe that this is an opportunity, an unfair advantage to agents who understand how to navigate the special ad category. And this is something that we're training agents to be very clear on. And just to give you a bit of advice on this, Facebook is moving towards a powerful machine learning and AI platform. Facebook is moving more towards a powerful machine learning and AI platform. And machine learning can always do a better job than what we can do in finding the right people for our ads. And what it's doing is it's looking at your content and posts and the engagement you are creating. Facebook is now doing a lot of the heavy work and heavy lifting for us. And future changes are going to make the platform even more powerful in generating leads using Facebook advertising. And we're seeing some pretty amazing results. So when you're putting your adverts out there, you've got to understand that you need to optimize your Facebook posts and adverts to give Facebook enough information on how to find the right people for your ads. So on the left there, you can see an example. These are the sort of things that you've got to bear in mind when creating your posts and then putting ads out. You've got to be thinking about optimizing the primary text, the headline, the description, the image. Does it clearly call out who you're trying to get in front of? Does it clearly call out your location? And you can see on that example there on the left, the first line, attention, Sidcup homeowners, Sidcup in the primary text, Sidcup in the headline underneath the image. And of course, we're using an image as well, which is in that location. The AI machine learning, just to make it very clear, is now looking at what you're using there. Also consider using local hashtags and check-ins. These are just some of the things you can do. As I say, when we train agents, we run through everything that you should consider, but hopefully there's some tips there that you can take away. So today on this webinar, I'm going to share with you some of the most important things I've learned through my mistakes, through spending thousands of pounds in ad spend, but also testing and managing hundreds of ad accounts for agents that I work with in the property industry. Very lucky, get to see hundreds of ad accounts each year. And I'm going to try and share with you just some of the things that are working, which is going to really benefit you. But first, I just want you to know and understand the one biggest mistake that I see agents making with their Facebook ads, and one that's killing their adverts and wasting a lot of money. In fact, this is one of the things that I made as a mistake when I started doing Facebook advertising. And if you're wondering what it is, it's always asking but not giving or leading with value, not considering reciprocity, always asking but not giving or leading with value. Now, if you're trying to understand how that looks and what that means, well, I think we're all used to these type of adverts that perhaps we see other people doing, or perhaps we even did in the past in the newspaper or leaflets, adverts in print that say something like, we sell homes fast, best price, experienced agents, full service, contact us now. Adverts that might have worked a long time ago on leaflets and in the paper just aren't suitable for social media or Facebook. And if you're wondering why, that's because on Facebook, it sounds exactly like this. I don't know you and you don't know me, but pay me loads of money to sell or let your house. You must give before you ask on Facebook or social media. It's the #1 digital online social media marketing rule. And Stephen Covey, who wrote The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, a great book, explains this really well, breaks it down further. You need to make an emotional deposit before making a withdrawal. You can't just now ask someone straight away, are you looking to sell or let your property on social media platforms like Facebook? And if you're still wondering why, because people are not on Facebook to find estate agents or letting agents. They're on the platform to socialize with family and friends, to learn, share, and discover things. Think about it. When you go on social media, onto Facebook, Reels, Instagram, you're trying to get away from everything. You're not looking for an agent or a property. So when you pop up that first time, a really good place to start is by leading with value, something that's going to benefit them and is of interest. And if you're putting out general organic content out on social media, here's some more tips for you. You need to make sure it does one or more of the following. So before you put that bit of content out on your Facebook page or on Instagram, have a think about, does it entertain? Does it inspire? Does it motivate? Does it educate? If it does one of those things, or if it does all of those, fantastic. But if it does one of those things, you're going in the right direction and you're creating the right content for people to engage with. So as agents, we need to first grab attention. But how can we do that? Well, one of the best ways we can do that, as we've just mentioned, is by leading with value. Let's give you some guidance on this and some tips and advice. Well, some of the ways you can achieve this, you can grab attention and lead with value, is by simple guides, reports, or even your online valuation tool, or even a market update video. These are things that you can use. One of the things that works extremely well after testing lots of different things are e-guides and reports, downloads that sellers and landlords can actually download. These are quite simple to create. And ones that work really well for sellers are often about selling quickly and for the most price. That talks to everyone. You can zone in or bring it down to sort of people selling with pets or with children and those sort of things. But really selling a guide or marketing a guide about increasing the value of your home or selling quickly talks to all those people. And then for landlords, landlords often it's about, complying with legislation, the fear of not actually complying with legislation, getting their rent paid on time, finding a good tenant, getting their property back. Those sort of guides work extremely well. Now in front of you, you can see some examples of where we're using something called a lead advert, where you can put a guide or a download out on Facebook. And then when someone wants to download it, the form will pop up, as you can see there, just from the left, will pop up, and they can hand over their details, their email address, phone number, and name very quickly. Facebook will actually pull that information in from their user profile on Facebook, so it's very quick and slick. So there's some of the best adverts that you can run, starting in a really good place, leading with value, and using Facebook's lead adverts, removing the need to send them off Facebook to an actual landing page. So how can you create your own guides? Well, let's just break that down a little bit further. We actually use a SAGE acronym to make sure our guides work and are useful. We also create these for members that we work with in our membership program, or agents that we work with building their funnels. The SAGE acronym is actually obviously SAGE. S is for short. Any guide or checklist or PDF that you create or cheat sheet should be just 1 to 2 pages long. We've tested this over and over again, and this works best for lead generation. People want to consume things in just a few minutes now. They want snackable content. When was the last time you downloaded a 30-page book and actually read it? So you want to give them something they're going to consume and they can obviously benefit from very quickly. A is for actionable. Give them a step to take an action towards a result. Get them from A to B on that process. You don't need to give them everything and take them A to Z. Just get them further than they've got before, A to B, because then they're going to come back to you for the rest of the help. But just make sure that it's actionable. G is for goal-orientated, and E is for easy to implement. Whatever you provide, just make sure it's easy to implement. Don't try and confuse them. Because you think, if I confuse them, they're going to come to me. Make sure whatever you give them is easy to implement. So again, they feel they've got further than they've got before. And then who they're going to come back to get further help, it's going to be yourself. So use the SAGE acronym to obviously build out your guides and checklists. So these guides and checklists, these are helping agents to position themselves as a local authority figure and expert, generate leads, but most importantly, start conversation by providing contact details. Also, by using Facebook advertising, it provides a powerful combination to generate leads and new business, but also a powerful way to create an audience of possible buyers, sellers, and landlords. Because as soon as someone clicks on that download on Facebook, on that download advert, they can be put into an advert just by that form popping up, or someone clicking on it. Facebook can put them into an audience of people to retarget. Really powerful, because obviously the most people who are going to be clicking on your advert are people who are sellers or they're actual landlords. But there's a second powerful step to Facebook advertising, often overlooked by agents, that also I want to share with you today on this webinar, and will also help you to achieve the fees you deserve. Because one of the things often agents will tell me is that obviously fees is a big issue, keeping fees high. And this is actually pre-framing and retargeting, just like eBay and Amazon. Once we've grabbed the attention and identified possible sellers, buyers, and landlords in our town, it's important that we retarget and get back in front of anyone who's downloaded our guide or our content, carried out an online valuation tool, or shown interest in our content on Facebook. So if you've ever been on eBay or Amazon, looked at some items, come away, and you see those items over and over again. So maybe you've looked at a pair of trainers, you've come away, you've not bought them, you see them every single day. And companies like eBay and Amazon do this on purpose. They know that the low-hanging fruit and the results are through retargeting. And you pretty much don't stop seeing that advert until you buy that item or put a restraining order on that business. And as I say, the reason they do this is because they know that people need to see that business, or service multiple times before they will reach out to use them. And also they understand that people are seeing so many adverts every single day. But why is retargeting now important than ever, and something estate agents and letting agents can no longer ignore? Well, let me just share with you a recent study and survey by a university in New York who partnered with a leading marketing firm that showed, on average, we see around about 5,000 adverts a day online and offline. Only recall loosely 50 of those adverts a day, and actually only recall 4 out of those 5,000 by actual product name. So what you can see here is that we are being hit with so many adverts every single day, online and offline. So on TV, on Facebook, on Instagram, walking down the street, they are everywhere. So actually getting someone to take notice without ignoring your message is getting harder and harder. So retargeting is so important to continue put that message in front of them and make them become familiar with your product and services. But why is it more important than agent? And why is this important to you as agents? Well, as much as 85% of your leads generated on Facebook or people visiting your website will not be ready straight away, as they're either in the discovery or decision-making phase. And often that will start online. It's now vital for agents to stay in front of possible sellers and landlords during that decision-making phase, when people are researching and thinking about moving, selling, or letting their property. The journey of looking to move or choosing an agent to work with is starting so much earlier, and is often online months before they actually pick up the phone or walk into your office and speak to an actual agent. Now, this is an advert that I do suggest you consider straight away. Often people will ask me, Paul, what's the best, one of the best adverts I can start with? Well, there's definitely low-hanging fruit with people visiting your site and actually putting a Facebook pixel on your website and having a retargeting advert showing a carousel of your latest properties to bring people back to your site and searching your properties every week. So buyers and sellers are not just visiting your site only, they're also visiting on average 4 to 6 other sites as well during that research phase. So what you need to be doing is making sure you remind them of where they've been looking for property, and bring them back each week to your property by having a carousel retarget anyone who's been on your website. And a carousel is up to 10 properties that people can swipe through, and it all feeds back to your property and pushing people back into that search. So some of the best agents in the world are now retargeting, showing up on a regular basis, just like eBay and Amazon. Not only are they making it easy for people to reach out to them when they are ready, but there is also one more secret they're using, another powerful strategy called pre-framing. And retargeting is now allowing agents to influence sellers and landlords a lot earlier and changing what people think about them before they've even reached out to them through pre-framing. And if you're wondering what pre-framing is, it might be a new word to you. Frank Kern, a well-known internet marketer, explains this really well. Pre-framing is essentially using marketing to control people's opinions and feelings about you before they've even had a chance to read your sales message or interact with you in any way. So for agents, by the time you interact with sellers or landlords by phone, email, or in person, they should be a very warm lead and should know who you are, what you do, and what you're all about. Now, if you think about it, if you've ever been on a valuation before and you've got to the valuation and sat down with the owner, and before you've even talked about the property or looked around, they've said to you, I haven't called anyone else out because I just know that you and your brand or company are the ideal company to sell my property. And we all like those ones. And that's probably the reason they've said that is probably because they've gone through some sort of pre-framing where they've obviously seen your messages, seen your brand over and over again before you've actually walked through that door. Agents now need to influence people a lot earlier through what is known as retargeting, by showing up on a regular basis and allowing people to get to know who we are and trusting us over time before using our services. And there's plenty of content that you can put back to people during that discovery and research phase, those months and months before people actually call an agent out. There's that golden opportunity to retarget people. And this is some of the content that you want to be thinking about. Just give you a few tips and advice here as well. Top left, obviously, local community content, that sort of digital mayor type content, showing that you've got real passion for your area, appeals to everyone, the best restaurants, the best coffee shops, events that are going on in your town. That is of interest to everyone. Bottom left, social proof, reviews, case studies, making sure that you are, putting a bit of a story behind that review or that case study so people can relate to that person who sold their property through you or let through you. Perhaps it was the first time they've moved in 30 years. Perhaps they were downsizing to the coast. Perhaps you had to go above and beyond at towards the end of the sale. Let people hear that, because then they can relate to that sale and think, well, that's me, and you've helped that person, but also show your worth. In the middle, local stats, really position yourself as the expert, real understanding on the local market, but compare it to national markets as well, and figures. Top right and bottom left, obviously knowledge, where you're answering questions that people are asking you every day. Start writing down those questions that you get asked every day, creating content where you're doing short videos, quick articles on those questions. That's exactly what people want to hear. Just some tips and ideas there with retargeting and rotating that content back to those people. Retargeting on Facebook is one of the most powerful things you can do as an agent in 2024 to take your agency forward, increase market share, and ensure no potential business is actually lost. Not only will retargeting make sure that potential buyers are not lost visiting your site, it will also help generate more seller and landlord leads with the correct approach. It would also increase your fees. Think about it. If you're going out on a valuation with 3 other agents that you're competing with, and the owner hasn't seen any of you before, doesn't know anything about you, all they're doing is comparing on fee. Through retargeting, before you get there, they've obviously got an understanding of who you are, who you've helped, seen your reviews, see that you know what the market's about, and seen obviously what you've been selling. So really powerful. They're not just comparing you on fees, they're now comparing you on your service and who you are. But how are the best agents actually doing this? Well, let's just give you a few examples before we finish. So some of the agents are building engaged audiences. These are audiences based on engaged data and using the tools that Facebook provides. Facebook allows you to build these audiences in the back part of Facebook. For example, people have been on your website. Using a Facebook pixel, you can retarget people who are visiting your property website, your landing pages, your online valuation tool, all those places where people visit to suss you out or to look at you for the very first time in the early part of the journey. You can actually put a Facebook pixel on, a little bit of code that Facebook gives you, and build audiences of people visiting those landing pages. People who are engaging with you on Instagram or social media, Facebook will actually allow you to build an audience of people who are clicking on your posts, sending you messages, visiting your Facebook page, following you. That is all possible through Facebook. They give you that audience. People who are watching your social media videos, you can build an audience of people who are actually watching your videos. So based on the percentage of people watching your videos, you can actually build an audience. And that's a really good marker. If someone's watching, say, 50% of a 2-minute market update, or perhaps you're giving sales tips, that's a really good person to retarget and put into an audience. And Facebook will allow you to build audiences of all your videos on people watching certain percentages. And last of all, people uploading data into your social media platform like Facebook. You can actually upload email addresses, see it in a CSV file format, putting it out of your CRMs, and including all your sphere of influence, friends and family, past clients, ongoing leads, anyone you've pretty much come in contact with, getting that into Facebook and allowing them to see you in that retargeting as well. And the reason for that is because up to 60% of your business probably comes from your sphere of influence, repeat business, recommendations, all coming from people that you've dealt with in the past. But you need to remain top of mind with those people as well. So using these audiences to retarget, agents can build extremely powerful Facebook funnels to take a lead on a marketing journey and see your posts and messages on a regular basis. Without what I've shown you today, without ad retargeting, and leads would never see the rest of your funnel and are 70% less likely to convert into an actual client. And this is pretty much what you want to try and achieve. This is just a basic funnel, looking at retargeting, looking at putting your ads out and then getting back in front of all those important people that I've mentioned. You can see up the top there, top of funnel, that's where you'll have your adverts like the online valuation tool, perhaps those guides that I mentioned, or perhaps you're just building audiences based on people watching your videos or visiting your website. The retargeting bit is the middle funnel that I went through, which is where you build authority and expertise. That's where you're going to make it very easy for people to reach out to you when ready, but also appearing every week without fail makes people very familiar with you and builds trust. And then bottom of funnel is where obviously you'll be booking those valuations and perhaps speeding up those conversations by including things like emails and text messages. So that's just an example of how your Facebook funnel should look. And that's an example of some of the funnels that we build for agents. So just want to say thank you very much. If there's any questions, please do let me know. Get in touch if there's anything I can help you with.
Paul, thank you very much. Thank you to everybody watching today.
That's brilliant. Thanks, everyone.